Hi, my name is Kevin. This is going to be our first check test route number 1. It's going to be a route through Chichester, starting at the Chichester Test Centre and finishing back at the Chichester Test Centre. It should approximately be about 45 minutes long. It's basically going to involve mainly town driving. The type of pupil that it's aimed at, or the type of lesson it's aimed at, is a lesson that would involve meeting, planning, pedestrian crossings, a couple of difficult junctions, a couple of large roundabouts, a bit of dual carriageway. So it's a mixture, mainly urban driving. The map is linked next to this video on the web page. Okay, so the type of pupil I can't actually play. The level of instruction will be intermediate, so hopefully it's going to be a real pupil on the check test, but they are going to be of an intermediate level, but I can't sort of fix faults unless I introduce them as well, because I'm on my own, unfortunately. So what I'll do is practice thought-provoking Q&A on the drive, and just familiarise myself with the route and time the route. So we've got about 45 minutes. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so we've gone through the briefing, we've gone through the introductions, gone through the briefing for the pupil. I'm just going to concentrate on the route mainly, so I'll familiarise myself with the route location. So let's just go and see what we can do. Again, I'm not going to try and do commentary driving, but I want to practice thought-provoking Q&A for the pupil. This pupil is an intermediate pupil, but we're looking to increase and progress their thought and their anticipation and thinking process when driving. They can steer. They can basically do the controls, steer, sign, and the other one. So let's just start. So I won't be giving the directions either, so I should know the directions. Oh, I probably will give the directions then. Okay, we'll give the directions as well. So at the end of this road, we're going to turn right. So why is it important to keep the speed right down coming out of this car park here, especially coming up this road here? Why must we keep the speed down, and why do we need to be looking well ahead, and why do we need to be looking especially on that left-hand wall edge? What could be there that we can't see? Coming to the end of the road, can we see left and right lane? If we can, what side of the road exit do we need to be on? If we approach the end of the road, what else should we be looking for other than cars, especially at this point here? Notice the give way sign is actually on the pavement in this case. What's the problem with coming out of this junction? Parked cars, what the problem they're presenting, parked on the left and right. So we're going to carry on straight ahead at the crossroads. So what hazards should you be aware of at crossroads like these? How will you be able to deal with them? So are these crossroads timed? How do they know when cars are going to be waiting to come away from them? What's the sequence of the traffic lights? Do you know the sequence of the traffic lights? Okay, so do you know the sequence of the traffic lights? Do you know when your sequence is next? Okay, so it is. I'm going to carry it straight on over. Any mistakes that I do make, I'll try and fix myself as well. So I'd like you to take the next road on the left, please. road on the left. Tell me when you can see the road though, and what speed and gear do you... So that's not the road there, that's a car park, there's the road there. So you signalled after that entrance to the car park, which is good. So you chose the correct gear. We can't hide impatience. What's the problem with that junction? Why is it important we look into the junction before we turn into it? You can see there's reflections in the windows ahead. Is there enough space for us both to get through there? Okay, so at the end of this road I'd like you to turn left, please. Tell me how you recognise the end of the road, what signal, what signs are you looking for? Enough room for close to get through. Came on, that was quite quickly, that one, didn't he? Do you think you'll be able to keep this one moving? Must we always stop at the end of the road? Consider a safe speed along this road with the appropriate gear for that speed. And why? Why would you consider that speed a safe speed? What are the potential hazards that you need to be aware of? Alright, next road on the left, sorry about that. My fault there. Potential problems do we have with the width of the road and the parked cars on our side, and is it safe for us to carry that through? What precautions would you take to make sure it was safe? Where would you be looking? What would you be looking for? Into the road we're going to go right. Tell me when would be a good time to signal. What position in the road will you take? Do you think you'll have to stop? What gear will you take before you move away? Tell me when you know that it's safe to go. What will you be looking for, and where will you be looking? How can you judge that it's safe to pull out in front of these cars that are passing us? Cars on the right, they've got some parked cars. How can we tell if there's car cars behind those there's moving cars behind those parked cars? What sort of signs and indications are you looking for? Cyclist on the wrong side of the road here. What cautions do you think you should take? What do you think she may do? Okay, so I'd like you to take the next road on the left, please. Tell me when you can recognise the turning. It might be hidden in this case, and it would be an appropriate time to start your sequence. What speed and gear do you think would be appropriate for this corner here? Looking into the road, can you see any problems, and how will you deal with them? What hazard have we got at this junction here? Has he seen us? How do we know that another car has seen us, another driver has seen us? What signals and indications are you looking for? So driving down this road here, if another car were to approach now, coming up the road, what action would you take? And how could you prevent this ending in a blocked situation? So we go left at the end of the road, please. Carry the normal sequence. Why is it important we don't start our sequence too early? Now, where do you think you'll have to stop here? Why? What type of junction is this? How long do you think you'll have to wait here? Where will you be looking before you go, especially on the left-hand side? The next road on the right, please. Pedestrian crossing, is that a hazard? Is he going to cross the road? What speed do you think, and gear do you think you'll take for this junction here? So we've got more priority if there is enough room to get through. I'd like to take the next road on the right, please. Again, looking into the road, is there enough vision to look into the road? What gear do you think would be appropriate speed, and where will that clutch be before you start to turn? Looking down this road here, is there enough space for 2 cars to get through? If there isn't, who has priority? And if neither of us have priority, what action would be best to take if you did have another car approaching now? Where would it be best to wait? Would it be better to wait in space on your side, or wait opposite a space on the other side of the road for the other car to take? If a car were to come now, what action would be best to take? Why is it even more important at this point? We go right at the end of the road. Why is it even more important at this point to be especially aware of cars? That car in front of us, what is he doing? And does he have right of way before we do? Is he moving out or is he parking again? Look at the body language. Okay. That's good. Yeah, he waited for that car. Well done. We needed to cut the corner there because of the... So these pedestrians ahead, we're going to be turning left at the next left turn. If they get into the road, if she gets into the road, has she seen us? Make sure she's seen us before she... Is it important that we don't stop? Because if we do stop, what will she think that we're doing for her? And if we haven't quite stopped, and she's not sure, but she goes anyway, go right at the end of the road, please. This guy with the sunglasses, what is he up to? Why is it doubly important at this junction here that we can see all the way around? Why is it important? Although we have priority, we'll give way to him. And if we have another car coming round, even though we still have priority, can we give way to them? So this car's given way to us, so we must make progress straight away. She's waiting for us. At the end of the road, I'd like to turn left, please. I think we'll have to wait here for quite a while. And why is that? What signals are you looking for? What can you see ahead to the left and right? These pedestrians, will they walk behind us? Is there enough space for us to come out? Is there a pedestrian crossing the pedestrian crossing? And if so, would you give way to him even though the lights are green? Road round to the left on the one-way system. So if we're following the road to the left, will we need to signal to come around from this junction? And where will you be looking, and what are we looking for? Looking ahead, tell me what you can see. It's just started. How's that going to affect our speed on approach, and what course of action will you take to prevent any potential hazard from occurring? Whereabouts will be the best place to stop behind this vehicle? While we're waiting, where could you be looking? What opportunities do you have? Well, we have an opportunity to look around. So to the right we've got a bus station with an entrance and exit. So what potential hazards could we have? Especially you can see one in front of to the side of us now, reversing bus. What potential hazard could that cause? Looking to the left, we've got another bus park with an entrance and exit right in front of the railway crossing. What potential hazards could be there? Checking your left and right mirrors while we're stationary, what potential hazards, and we've got one in front of us now, cyclist. We could have could you be looking for on your left and right mirror, especially with a lot of pedestrians waiting as well. And before you go, what precautions do you need to take before you move off from a stationary position in the road? Is there always only one train at a railway crossing? What could we anticipate happening? What clues can we get, or how do we know? Okay, so I'd like to take the next road on the left, please. Potential hazards have we got with these parked cars and the lay-by on the left? What could they do? What could be between them? And how can we, what signs and indications can we look for that cars waiting to move away, reverse? Humps in the road, what do they mean? How can that affect the speed? Speed along this road, considering that it's not a weekday, not a school day. Take the next road on the left, please. Tell me what hazard you can see as you start to turn into the new road, and how do we know what they're doing, and how do we know if they've seen us at a given way to us. So this corner here, what dangers does it present, and why? How can we prevent any potential hazard from developing? If we had a car coming down this road now, where would be a safe place to pull over to wait? What procedure would you go through if you did see a car approaching? Who would have priority along a road like this? What signs and indications can you see of a potential car moving away from the side of the road, either on the left or the right? This junction to the right here, what dangers can it present? Have you got there's activity alongside cars, parked cars on the left or right? Looking ahead, I'm going to take the next end of the road and turn left, unless we follow it on. Okay, so we're just going to follow this road up, but again, what dangers could this be presented with a junction, a wide junction to the left here? Could have cars moving out side road into the main road without looking in our direction. At the end of the road, I'd like you to turn left, please. And into the road again, just turn left, please. Do we have? What would be your procedure for the hazard? What type of braking would you use in a situation like this, and why? Could it be seen as appropriate? Again, where's a safe position to stop behind the parked vehicle in front, and why? Again, while we're waiting, we can familiarise ourselves with the lights on the level crossing. So there are two sets of lights: the red flashing and the amber flashing. Do you know what both of them mean? Do you understand about the point of no return on approach to a crossing when the amber light starts to flash? If traffic is moving across slowly, slow-moving traffic is moving across a level crossing, where should you wait? What's the main what's one of the main factors that you need to be aware of when moving slowly across a level crossing, and what is the best course of action to take in a situation like that. What signs, what can we hear, I gave it away then. What things could we be aware of to indicate that the train is approaching, and so therefore we could begin our preparation for moving off? And a clue is we could put the window down. Hazards also do need to be aware of whilst we're in a stationary position in the road. And how would you deal with them if that hazard did occur? So if we did have cyclists on the left hand side waiting alongside us before we started to move off, what would you do? Can you see a car approaching? What hazards have we got? Is this car indicating? What's this car? Why has this guy got his hazard lights on? And what will you do to make sure that it's safe to pass him? Potential hazard can we see by his indication? Has he given us enough room to move out? How will he prevent any potential hazard developing? What sequence will we go through? What approach to the hazard? Again, looking at this junction here, what potential hazards do we have? Why? What type of junction is this? And how do we counteract any, how do we, okay, we'll take the next road on the left please. How do we mitigate any potential hazard that may develop? So looking at this road, is this a two-way road? Is it wide enough for two cars to get through? How can we make sure it's safer to go down the road? Where will you be looking? What speed will you take an approach? We're going to go right at the end of the road. So what type of junction is this? Do we have priority? Coming to the end of the road, what do we need to be looking out for? How can you prepare yourself to go? When do you know that you've got enough vision? How can you increase your vision down the road without moving the car further forward and therefore sticking out into the road? Where's best to be looking on a corner like this so that we can see behind the cars, looking further down the road for potential for any cars coming towards us? Priority on the road. At the end of the road, I want you to turn right this time, please. So what potential do we anticipate having to wait here? If so, why? And how can we? Is it safe to carry on? No, it isn't. Okay, so even though we've got the red traffic lights, no one's given way to us. She's now blocked our way out, so we need to wait here. But that's not our problem. We employ defensive driving if someone does. Okay, so where must we look before we move out? Because we've been waiting on the side of the road there and we had someone coming right up behind us. What could they do before we move off? Why is it very important that we check to see where they plan in any way to keep moving. How could we plan to keep moving? In this case we can't, because the lights don't just change. Again, looking in our rearview mirror and our side mirror, we need to be aware of the cyclist behind us, making sure he gives way to us for us to carry on. If he doesn't, then what can we do? How can we make sure his life is safe? So let's take the next road on the left, please. Crossing ahead. Is there anyone waiting to cross? What clues could we have that there may be someone trying to cross or about to cross? And what course of action would you take, and should you take an approach to a pedestrian crossing? There's a black car on the left and there's a car on the right which cross our path. Are we sure they're giving way to us? At the roundabout, let's take the first exit. Turning to the left, please. Follow the signs to approach to the roundabout. Where should we be looking on approach? What speed would be an appropriate speed for us to facilitate enough time to assess where there's demons and the rights that we need to give way to? The gyratory, I'd like to take the second exit coming off the gyratory. Stop hazards do we have present at this junction here? Where do we need to stop and give way? Is our vision good enough? Why is it important that we don't stop suddenly on a junction like this? We have a full start. It would be an appropriate time to signal to come off the gyratory. Other hazards do we need to be aware of? The red paint on the roads. Again, it's pedestrian crossing. I'm sure that there's no one waiting to cross. Crossing, how do we know that it's safe to carry on? The roundabout looks like the third exit, turning to the right. Appropriate speed would you take on approach? How do you know if it's clear or not? What gears would it safe to take? And would it be advisable to keep moving if at all possible? This with the cobbles, can we, what's the speed limit on a road like this? What would be an appropriate speed to take? What would be an appropriate speed to take looking at parked vehicles and pedestrians and cars? Is this car waiting to pull out, or is it parked? Has the person in the car seen us? What does that sign mean? That warning sign on the left? These barriers ahead, they're blocking us on the road. Who has priority? Why are they there? Who has priority when there's one on our side on the left? Who has priority when there's one on the right? What do they make us do? What other road users do we need to be aware of on a road like this when they've got their own dedicated lanes? We did have a car approaching now. Are we safe to carry on? If so, why? And if not, why not? What are you looking for? Go left, first exit at the roundabout. We've got to keep it moving. What's that pedestrian on the road doing? Okay, so that route was 48 minutes. And basically, yes, I was just trying to ask a few questions, some interesting situations. Everything went very smoothly, actually. There weren't any major situations. A couple of waits at level crossings, which could affect the overall time of the route. But again, that's something we can't really take into account for. I suppose, if anything, you want the route to be a little bit less, so that if it does extend, so if you have got a bit of spare time at the end, you could do a little bit extra. But of course, you don't want to try not to be late back. But all in all, not too bad. So some questions there Some questions may have been a bit woolly, maybe not specific enough. I'm trying to throw in some leading questions. Again, I'm not having a real pupil, as there isn't a real pupil on this one, so it's a bit difficult to find a level of instruction. But also, even with a real pupil, it can be difficult to find a level of instruction, but at least you've got something to base your questions on. In this particular case, we didn't have a pupil, so I was just familiarising myself with the route, if nothing else. Okay, thank you.